Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Everyday EDC. My name is Tyler, and today I got a review for you. I got a review of the Kubey Hippo 902. So this was lent into the channel by Corey over there at the Practical Blade. Thank you so much, Corey, for letting me check this out. This thing's pretty sweet, and I'm excited to review it. Jumping right in here, we got a lot of hardware on either side, but you got multiple pieces, and so that makes sense. You got a really cool Kubey logo right there. That's pretty sweet. Some nice shred carbon fiber going through here that doesn't feel like a bad quality. It feels pretty nice. And then a titanium bolster that's bronzed, or a bronze color. A titanium backspacer with stainless steel liners that are not milled out. And actually, you know what? Let's show it. They are milled out, but they might as well not be. Where's my flashlight? Where's it at here? Dun, 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 dun. Look at that. It's like two triangles. You can't even see the other ones behind the backspacer. It's literally two triangles that are like a 1/4 inch wide on each angle. So he does have a lanyard on here because there is no pocket clip on this guy. Wah, wah. Not really sure what that's about, but it's cool. It's different, right? As I said, titanium, liner lock, flipper tab. Not obtrusive, and it's kind of hidden by this, so that makes it all right. The flip, this thing has pretty darn good action. Look at that. Oh, yeah, man. That's sweet. With a perfectly centered blade, and no side to side, no up and down. So the action on this guy is awesome. You might be noticing this Damascus blade. This Damascus is really interesting. You can feel the Damascus with, like, it's so etched that you can feel it. And it is a laminate. If you take a look here, I don't know if the lighting's good enough to see. You can see you've got Damascus, and a VG10 core. That VG10 core is going to lend to a VG10 edge on your blade. So whatever VG10's, the specifications, the way that, the edge retention, all that stuff, that's what you're getting on your blade. As you can see, Corey put a nice mirror edge on this guy. And he does some really good work over there. He spent a lot of time honing that, and he got it down nice. This has a nice kind of harpoon style shape. I actually enjoy the way that it looks. I mean, everything about this knife just kind of screams, look at me, I am different. There is something different about every piece of this knife, and I'm excited to go over this. Going on to the blade here, we have some nice little jimping right there, right where your thumb is supposed to land. It feels like that's where it's supposed to go. My thumb wants to go higher because I got longer fingers, but I can see why this makes sense. Also, the edges of the blades or the edge of the spine is really knocked down really nicely, and it's probably due to all this acid etching. Can't tell if they've really done a stonewash finish on it, but there's just a ton of acid etching that's like heavy on this Damascus to make the Damascus pop more, with the black coating on it to make it pop even more. So that's pretty freaking sweet. This is coming with bearings, obviously, and the action, like I said, is really nice. One thing to notice here is that these screws, bing bong, those screws right there on the carbon fiber do stick a little proud of the scale, while the screws on the titanium are actually recessed perfectly. Now, I kind of wish they would have done one or the other and not tried to really, like, I'm not sure if they just couldn't get deep enough into the carbon fiber without worrying about cracking it. I'm not really sure what it is, but I wish they just would have done one or the other because it kind of feels a little off there. It's not anything more than purely aesthetic and something a reviewer would really notice, just an FYI, but it's something to note. I mean, why would you do one and not the other? That's the confusing part there. As I said, there's a little bit of milling in there. And I'm not going to review his lanyard that he put on there or if this came with it, but it's a pretty sweet lanyard with a little skull bead on there. That's what it is if you guys are trying to see it, but he put that on there, obviously, once again, because there is no pocket clip, and therefore, if there is no pocket clip, this pocket clip is not ambidextrous, and it is no hand-only carry. Talk a little bit about the ergonomics of this guy, because this guy lends itself to believe that it's going to be very, very ergonomic. The one issue that I have with this, and it's not huge, it's not a major issue, it's just that this curved pommel on the bottom really kind of tightens my fingers and they kind of squish against each other. And I don't have very fat fingers, so I'm not quite sure if I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the ergos on this just because of that. It's not awful. It's not something that's super uncomfortable. It's just something that exists and that we should all probably be aware of. Let's jump into the specs. The overall weight on this guy's a little freaking pocket tank, coming in at 5.8 ounces. This guy is heavy. It sticks loud and proud, and you're going to see that when I go over the actual measurements with the calipers. So this is coming in at just a little over 8 inches, and the blade length's coming in at just a little under 3.5, and the cutting edge is coming in at just about 3.5 inches. The cutting edge is almost longer than the blade length itself due to the way that this bolster goes up here and up, but the blade comes down a little bit past the bolster. Now, let's get into some specs that are really going to send home kind of a point here. So the overall blade stock thickness of this guy is coming in at 155 thousandths. The behind the edge thickness, from where I'm taking it right here, is 28 thousandths. Over here is going to be probably about 28 thousandths. I'm showing 30 thousandths. In between 25 thousandths and 30 thousandths. So this isn't your most ultra 2020, 2021 slicing machine, but it's robust, and actually the feeling lends itself to the same feeling. The whole knife just feels really robust. So the overall height of this knife is coming in at 1.35 inches, and the overall width of this knife is coming in at 0.7. I always talk about the real average coming in at 0.4 to 0.6. This thing's coming well above that. So it's definitely a chunky boy here. Let's get you guys some size comparisons. Could not flick out that knife to save the life of me. What the hell was that all about? Here is my Spyderco Shaman and my Spyderco Astute. As you can see, it's probably about an inch longer than the Astute, but just about the same length, if not slightly shorter than the Spyderco Shaman. Here is your Civivi Brigand and your Civivi Elementum. As you can see, it's a little bit shorter than your Civivi Elementum and a little bit long. It's a lot longer than your Civivi Elementum and a little bit longer than your Civivi Brigand. Next, we have your mini feldspar and your regular size feldspar. This thing's just about as long, if not maybe a 1/4 inch longer than the regular size feldspar. Here's your Rat Model 1 and your Rat Model 2. Make sure that's on the screen. All right. So as you can see, it's much longer than your Rat Model 2, slightly shorter than your Rat Model 1. So to recap, this is a Damascus laminated VG10 blade that is heavily etched and then coated in a dark wash coating with a harpoon style, almost like an upswept harpoon style blade shape. Very, very cool looking. These handles are extremely thick, which lead to filling out your hand very well, but this pommel down at the bottom really kind of gives you a little bit of a squished finger feeling. Really nice carbon fiber leading up into the titanium bolsters right here, and everything is knocked down very, very well. A slight chamfering all around to make sure that there's no sharp edges. We have a titanium backspacer with some pretty heavy jimping, light jimping on the back of your blade. This is a flipper, and it flips phenomenally. The action is just great. Let's jump into my likes, my dislikes, price, and whether or not I can recommend this. So my likes, first and foremost, this is so unique, I like it. At first look, on pictures, it looks cool. First look in person, I was like, I don't think that's great looking. And then the more I look at it and the more I'm like getting into the review of it, I really actually enjoy the way that this thing looks. The carbon fiber on top of the looks just looks so good, and it's so smooth, and it's textured in a way that leads to a little bit extra ergonomic non-slippage in your hand. Not that your hand's going to go anywhere, because this thing really cups your hand very, very well. So your hand's not going to go anywhere on that. Last, the action on this guy is phenomenal. I mean, you do have a pretty stocky boy for this blade. I mean, it's pretty stocky, but the action is just great. And last but not least, The value of this guy is coming in at $60. So you're getting this laminated VG10 blade with this carbon fiber titanium bolsters all for 60 bucks. I kind of don't care that there's not a pocket clip, because this, like Tucson, watch out, because this is smoking Tucson's value. Just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, 60 bucks, you're getting the Damascus VG10 laminated blade, titanium, carbon fiber. I mean, it's all just fantastic. My dislikes, kind of going back to the chunkiness. I always said the thicker the knife, the better. This is borderline too thick. At 0.7 inches, this is coming in, it feels okay, don't get me wrong. I just wish this pommel at the bottom wasn't so curved to choke you in so much, and maybe I wouldn't care so much about the thickness. Which kind of leads into my last dislike, is I really don't like the ergonomics as much as it looks like I should. It's just, it's not super ergonomically friendly, guys. If you guys have fat hands, I don't know that you're actually going to like this. And, you know, no pocket clip kind of sucks. But overall, the value of $60 makes this pretty sweet. Can I recommend this? I'm not sure that I can, only because this feels very niche. It feels very satisfying the urge of having something really beautiful in your pocket, but also something very heavy and tankish in your pocket. Do I like this knife? For sure. I think this knife is very cool, and I think it's a cool piece to show off. And I think it's something cool that anybody who owns it and appreciates it for that, I don't think you're ever going to dislike it. And for the price, you know, realistically, I should just recommend it just for the price alone, because that price of $60 for everything that you're getting here is absolutely incredible. That is all I got for you guys today. This is the Kubey Hippo. My name is Tyler. Thank you so much, Corey, for sending this into the channel for review. Thank you so much, everybody who watches this. You guys stay sharp, stay safe, and have a great freaking day, guys. Hey, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It genuinely means a lot. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment. If you didn't like it, give me some feedback in the comments below, and hit that thumbs down button. In case you guys don't know, I do have a Patreon, which will be listed right here. In that Patreon, we're giving bi-monthly giveaways to just the Patreons based on the number of Patreons that we have in the Patreon. We will also be giving discounts on all the knives that I sell based on the number of patrons. My name is Tyler. This is Everyday EDC. You guys stay sharp, stay safe, and have a great day.